Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Soul Whispers, Coming Home to You. This is episode 8, What Your Gut Always Knew. Let's begin by taking one slow breath together, in through your nose and slowly out through your mouth, and just let your body settle in. Let it know that for the next little while, it is allowed to simply receive. I'm Susan, certified somatic trauma-informed coach, and I'm someone who spent nearly 4 decades in a relationship built on trauma bonds, intermittent reinforcement, gaslighting, coercive control, and walking on eggshells. I found my way back to myself once I finally had the language for what I had lived. Now, before we begin, a word for those of you who love these episodes but have wondered about the lunar references. I want you to know that the rhythm of the moon is not something I found in modern spirituality. I found it in the Bible. In Genesis 1:14, God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens, and let them be for signs and for seasons." The Hebrew word translated seasons there is moedim, appointed times. God's own word for the moments he set apart to meet with his people. Psalm 104:19 says, "He made the moon to mark the seasons." The new moon in Scripture was a sacred day of renewal. Trumpets were blown, labor ceased, offerings were made. And the full moon was the moment of complete illumination. Passover itself falls at the full moon, the night God led his people from captivity into freedom. And for those who follow Jesus, that same full moon would one day be the night the Passover lamb himself was sacrificed, so that a freedom deeper than any of us could have imagined became possible for all of us. The moon has always been God's calendar in the sky. When we align ourselves with its rhythm in Soul Whispers, we are not following something new. We are returning to something ancient, a rhythm God wove into creation before the first human being drew their first breath. Whether you call it astrology, lunar healing, or simply following the appointed times that God placed in the heavens, the invitation is the same: to pay attention to the rhythm he designed and to let it guide you home. Now, 8 Sundays, we have been together sharing this safe space. And the full moon in Scorpio rose on May 1st and asked you to look at what you had been keeping in the dark, to finally see the relationship that required your disappearance, clearly from altitude with compassion. And today, in the softer light of the waning moon, in the quiet after the illumination, we go somewhere more intimate. We sit with something your body has known for a very long time. We talk about your gut and why it was always, always right. In episode 7, I told you about Beverly, about the phone call, about standing in my living room and feeling the knowing rise from somewhere beneath my stomach before my mind had formed a single coherent thought. What I haven't told you is what I did with that knowing. Well, I set it aside. Carefully, deliberately. I picked up the toys from the floor and I continued the afternoon, and I placed the knowing in the quiet, crowded drawer where all the other knowings lived. The stomach drops, the silences that felt different from other silences, the look I caught and then immediately explained away. All of it I filed carefully away, because the alternative, letting myself know what I already knew, was a door I was just not ready to open yet. Cognitive dissonance is not stupidity. It is the mind's extraordinary mercy, buying time until the heart is strong enough to hold what the gut already knows. Now, years later, when I finally had the language for what I had lived, I went back to all those moments, and what I found was something between relief and grief, was that I had never once been wrong. My gut, Not about Beverly, not about the others, not about any of the 100 moments where something in me said, this is not what it appears to be. My gut had a perfect record. What was imperfect was my willingness to trust it. And that, the gap between knowing and trusting your own knowing, is what I want to explore with you today. Perhaps your experience of this looks different from mine. Perhaps it was not a partner, but a friendship that drained you, or even a family member who made you feel inadequate, small, not good enough, in ways too subtle to name. A workplace even where something was always slightly wrong, but you could never quite point to what. In all of this, the form changes, but the internal experience does not. The body always knows first, and most of us have spent years learning to talk ourselves out of what it is telling us. Now, right now, we are in the waning gibbous, the soft, reflective light after the full moon's illumination. And this phase, it's not about action. It's about integration, about sitting in what was revealed and letting it settle into understanding. The gut knowing we explored today is perfectly held by this energy. Not a confrontation, but a quiet, honest reckoning with what was always true. Now the gut, let's talk about that for a moment. What scientists now call the enteric nervous system contains over 100 million nerve cells. It communicates directly with the brain through the vagus nerve, sending signals upward more than it receives them downward. So in other words, your gut is not reacting to what your brain decides. Your brain is often responding to what your gut has already registered. This is not mysticism. This is neuroscience. Your gut perceives threat, incongruence, and emotional truth before the conscious mind has assembled a single sentence about what it is experiencing. The stomach drop you felt when he walked in, or the tightening in your chest when something was said that landed wrong, or the nausea of knowing that arrived fully formed before you had any evidence to back it up. All of that was data. Accurate, reliable, physiologically real data. Your gut was not dramatic. It was being precise. The problem was never your intuition. The problem was the environment that taught you not to trust it. Which brings me to cognitive dissonance, the gap. Cognitive dissonance is what happens when two conflicting realities exist in the same mind at the same time. So on one side, you have the love, the good days, the tenderness, the genuine connection. And on the other, you have the knowing, the gut truth, the thing you have filed quietly away. The mind cannot comfortably hold both, so it chooses, usually unconsciously, to amplify one and minimize the other. So in a relationship where the cost of acknowledging the gut truth is enormous, for example, loss, confrontation, the collapse of the life you have built, the mind becomes very skilled at minimizing, at explaining things away, at constructing the most charitable interpretation of every event. And this is not weakness. This is the mind protecting you from a truth it does not yet know how to hold. It will only stop minimizing when you have enough safety, when you feel enough support and enough distance to hold the truth without being destroyed by it. I want you to know you are standing in that safety right now. 8 Sundays of building it, and today, gently, without pressure, we begin to close the gap. Now I want to say something to the version or part of you that is sitting with regret, the one that is looking back at all the moments the gut spoke and thinking, why didn't I listen sooner? Please hear this. You listened as soon as you were able to. The capacity to act on what your gut knows is not simply a matter of willpower. It requires safety. It requires support. It requires the slow, patient building of a belief that your knowing matters and that you are allowed to act on it. And that belief, in many of us, was precisely what the relationship was dismantling, 1 year at a time. You are not slow. You were not blind. You were building, in the only way available to you, enough ground to stand on. And you got there. You're here. That is not failure. That's extraordinary. God, the universe, source, that intelligence was working through your gut the entire time. Every stomach drop, every unexplainable feeling of unease, every moment of knowing that arrived before you were ready, that was guidance. That was the whisper from your soul, speaking in the only language that could get through when the mind was still managing. And the whisper never stopped. And you are finally, in this season of your life, learning to hear it clearly, learning to trust it, to let it lead you toward the light, toward healing, toward the life that was always waiting on the other side of knowing. Now let's do a little somatic practice, coming home to your gut. This is short and simple, and you can do it right now wherever you are. So bring one hand to your belly, just below your navel, and place the other hand on your heart. And if you can, close your eyes. And take 3 vagus nerve breaths. That means breathing in through your nose for 4, holding for 2, and letting out through your mouth for 7. And let each exhale be complete. Focus on the breathing, feeling your ribs expand, letting go, feeling your body relax. Now ask, not your mind, but your belly, one gentle question. What do I already know that I haven't fully let myself trust yet? Don't reach for an answer. Just notice what the body does in response to the question. Perhaps a tightening, a warmth, a shift in the breath, a sensation you can't name but definitely feel. Whatever arrives is information. Whatever arrives is the gut doing what it has always done, speaking your truth, waiting patiently for you to be ready to hear it. Place warmth into wherever you are feeling it and say, I hear you. I am ready to listen now. Now let's move into your guided meditation. Find your position, feet on the floor, hands wherever they rest naturally. And take one slow breath in and a long, gentle exhale out. We are in the waning moon now, the soft light after the revealing. This is not the energy of confrontation. This is the energy of integration, of sitting with what was illuminated, gently and patiently, and letting it become your wisdom. You are safe. You are held. Letting your jaw relax and your shoulders drop. Your whole body going deeper, just one layer, even deeper than it was a moment ago. Now, before we go inward, I'd like you to take a moment to feel your surroundings. Feel God, the universe and source, the intelligence that has been threading through your whole story. It is present here in this room, in this breath, in the body that carried you through everything. And it's still here, still faithful and still speaking. That presence has never left you. Not in the darkest rooms of the relationship, not in the years of filing the knowing away, not in any moment you felt completely alone. It was the knowing. It was the whisper from your soul. It was the gut that told the truth when nothing else was allowed to. Just let yourself feel held by that right now before we go any further. And breathe. Now I want to invite you to bring to mind, gently, without force, one moment when your gut spoke and you set it aside. Not to judge yourself for what you did with it, just to return to it now, from this distance, with 8 weeks of healing between you and that moment. See it as if you are watching it from a gentle height. The moment, the sensation in the body, the knowing that arrived before the words. And now, from this distance, from this safety, let yourself simply acknowledge, I knew. In that moment, I knew. My body was telling the truth. And breathe. Now feel what it's like to give that moment its full credit, not as evidence of failure, but as evidence of an extraordinary internal compass that never lost its north, even when everything around it was telling it to doubt itself. Your gut was right. It was always right. And now, as you continue to heal, as your trust in yourself continues to return, you are learning to listen to it in real time. Now bring your hand to your belly now. Feel it rise and fall with each breath. This is your compass. This has always been your compass. And I want to invite you to make an agreement with it. Not a grand declaration, just a quiet, genuine commitment between you and the part of you that has been faithfully reporting the truth for your entire life. Now say this silently in your mind or aloud if you can. I am learning to trust you again. I know you have never led me wrong. And as I continue to heal, as I continue to come home to myself, I commit to listening, to pausing before I explain you away, to treating your wisdom as the gift it has always been. And breathe. Feel that agreement settle into your body, into your belly and your chest and your throat. Let it be real. Allow it to be a turning point. From this moment, as you continue to trust what you always knew, the compass is active, and it will lead you home. Now gently place your hand over your heart, your anchor, knowing that whenever you need to do this, it will instantly bring you a warm, safe, peaceful sensation that allows you to step back, to pause, to breathe slowly, to remind yourself of your worth, that you are loved, you are worthy of wonderful blessings, and to allow yourself to hear the soul whispers that are guiding you on the path that moves you into the light. Now take one more slow, deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth with a sigh. Slowly and gently feel the room returning, the weight of your body in the chair, the ground beneath your feet. And take one final breath again in through your nose and exhale through your mouth, feeling the tingling sensation in your fingers and your toes as your body comes back to the present time. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes. Welcome back. 8 Sundays, 8 weeks of coming home to you. And today, your gut has its voice back. Not completely, not all at once, but enough to feel it, enough to begin to trust it. And next Sunday, episode 9, we take the story you have been telling about what happened, and we find the one that sets you free, because how we narrate our own lives determines how we live them, and it is time for a new story. You can find me here every week offering you a safe place to land. And if you're ready to go deeper, if today reached something inside of you, and if this work feels like something you want to do with more support, more depth, more of someone walking alongside you, well, I'm here for exactly that. I am now offering private one-to-one sessions with packages available, combining all of my tools from my toolbox. They're woven into a practice that is entirely yours. I do personalized guided meditations, somatic trauma-informed coaching, inner child work, internal family systems, nervous system regulation, Reiki, and even emotional freedom techniques, whatever is best for you. You do not have to do this alone. I'm here when you're ready. And if you'd like to book a discovery call, the link is in the show notes below, and I would be honored to walk this road with you. And before you go, please take the time to leave a comment below and tell me, when did you first start to trust your gut again? Or are you still working on it? And your answer might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. And if Soul Whispers is part of your healing journey, I hope that you will subscribe so you never miss a Sunday. And please leave a thumbs up if today helped you. Please also share this episode with someone who might need to hear it. Every share puts this work in front of someone who might be looking for exactly this. Remember, take those slow, deep breaths. Pay attention to your gut and what it is telling you. No need to file it away. Begin to listen to it, to trust it. And until next week, love and hugs.